Hey guys, Greg here. It's Tuesday, and this week is my theme, and I decided that we are going to talk about homeless people because I am something of a hobo whisperer and have tons of crazy encounters with street people, and you know, I just thought that I would share a few of them, and I wanted to hear some funny stories that other people had to share. John was unable to upload yesterday. At the last minute, he got very severe explosive diarrhea, and he actually had to tweet me from the toilet. You know, it's a huge deal. So he's not going to be able to post until Saturday. Also, you may have noticed that I have a different background. That is because I'm in a hotel room, and this is kind of awkward because you can hear everything that's going on, so I'm sure somebody can, like, you know, listen in on this whole vlog. Well, maybe we'll get a new subscriber out of it. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about was this one encounter that I had. So I worked at a public library, and I was walking to my car the one day, and there were these two homeless guys standing off in the distance, and one of them looked like he was very drunk, and the other one just looked kind of drunk, and they both had like red Solo cups in their hands. So I was walking to my car, and then they like shouted something at me, and I was like, oh, I'm just gonna keep going. And so I ran and sort of skipped into my car, and I got in, and then all of a sudden I hear somebody knocking on my window, and so I turn, and it's one of these guys with the Solo cups. I'm looking at him a little more closely, and he's just like, he's got like weird skin issues, and it's very bizarre. So I mean, I like to be respectful of people, so I just went to roll down my window a little bit, which normally I cannot get my window to roll down properly because it has this auto feature, which just ideally you're just supposed to tap it and it'll roll all the way down. And this, I just wanted to crack the window open a little bit just so he could hear me. But unfortunately, the auto feature actually worked this time, and it just went all the way down. So there was nothing separating me and this man who was like covered in burns or whatever his problem was. So the guy starts asking me if there's a place where you can get chicken, which in Baltimore, you can get chicken on pretty much every block at every restaurant or place that serves food. Like convenience stores, drug stores, anywhere. You can get it anywhere. You can probably find a street vendor that'll sell it to you. It's like not even a real question. And so then the questions started to progress, and he started asking me about like whether I could give him money, and I was like, no, I don't have any money. And then he was like, oh, okay, well, can you give me a ride? And I was like, no, I can't give you a ride, I actually have to get going. And so then he started basically doing like an interview with me, and he was like, where are you going? And I said, oh, I'm going to school, I have to go to school, I'm taking a class in College Park. And he was like, oh, well, what are you studying? And I said, library science, since I'm a librarian. And he was like, oh, and then he was like, well, what's that mean? And I said, it means that you study to become a librarian. And he's like, oh, okay. And then he asked me if he could shake my hand. And so I didn't want to be rude, and so I just like kind of reached over and tentatively grabbed his hand, and then while I'm grabbing his hand, he goes, can I kiss your hand? And I went, absolutely not, and I rolled up the window, and it was just, so that's the time that I got propositioned by a homeless person. And then his friend was like laughing his ass off. That guy was like cracking up and like drinking his little whatever it was, scotch, or I don't know what was in there. Anyway, it was just a very awkward exchange, and so I'm hoping that the rest of you have stories like that, and if you have some yourself, feel free to share them in the comments below. I'm sorry I don't have a lot of energy. I somehow got sick while I've been in Philadelphia, and I've got a cold, and this conference is slowly killing me because it's so boring, and then I go out late at night and drink, and that's probably why I'm sick now. But anyway, I hope everyone is doing well, and I hope John feels better. So please, if you can, go to his page, tell him that you hope he feels better, and yes, I would really much appreciate that. Thanks. Anyway, guys, have a good week. Bye.